All right, we're live on YouTube, and we're gonna go ahead and upload a thumbnail here. You know what? We're probably gonna have to do that after the fact, so I'll leave the thumbnail uploading for afterwards. Want to make sure that our mic is check 1 2. Got to plant that bad boy on. So we are good to go. So we'll make sure this is in our live stream. Make sure it is set no for kids so that we can have some discussion here. All right, we'll just make sure we're good to go. We're streaming, we're going, and yeah, cool, we're good, we're live, excellent. Cool, so stay tuned, I'll make sure to get those details in there. And you know, it's interesting, my camera does something different when I use Zoom versus I live stream from YouTube. I want to make sure I had a little bit of Christmas light in there. My wife made the effort to turn the lights on for me. I've been terrible about that the last few days. So she is keeping me on point here, which I really appreciate. So shout out to the wifey. Okay, so I'm just gonna flash this really quick. This is this is an original piece, by the way. This is original artwork. So if you guys want it, it is for sale. It'll be stored somewhere back there. So, all right, just let me know. I'm just kidding. I see it. I've wanted to try that just because I see another YouTuber do that with what they have in their hands, and I don't think he's the first to do it, obviously, because you see a lot of talk show hosts, read something and toss it. Craig Ferguson was really good at that. No longer a talk show host on the late night show, but a hilarious guy nonetheless. Anyway, so we're going to cover it in detail and live here. We're going to actually cover for you guys a teaching, if you will, a learning session where I want to show you why BMI is generally crap and why the number on the scale also is not enough for you to get the proper and correct information you need to determine where you're at as far as your health. And there are certain applications, obviously, where the BMI can be useful or helpful. I want to see if I still have those images up. I was looking for a stock image and saw something that I think was okay. It wasn't bad. If it'll show it to me. Preview. Will it do a big preview for me? Okay, yeah, so it is something that is so. We'll just go ahead and throw it in here so we have it for application. So I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen. We are not streaming on Insta today, so it's just gonna be all via YouTube for today. So if you happen to be looking for us on Instagram, you can't find us, we're here on YouTube tonight just because it's a share screen, applicable or application rather, type thing today. So here is the body mass index as illustrated here. Whoever did this on Shutterstock, so they would get the credit. It looks like Vector Fitness, so give them the credit for this. It's not mine. You have what they've designated as underweight all the way to extremely obese, and these are the actual body mass index numbers. So to give that a little bit of application, typically for that, you're looking at usually they'll say normal is your ideal. If you're a little bit in the overweight category, it's not too big a deal, but this is, as far as calculating it, it's your weight in kilograms divided by your height in meters squared. So that's what gives you the BMI. So again, weight in kilograms, or you could easily transfer kilograms to pounds by dividing by 2.2. For meters, height in meters, you could take meters, turn them into centimeters, divide by 2.54 and get inches. So that would be, if you don't know what your kilograms or your centimeters are, you could do it that way. Very simple conversion. and do the math. Okay, so that's that. Now the problem is that if you're really short but really stocky, or really tall but really like you've got a smaller body frame, although you're not, you could be healthy but still in an underweight category, and you still could be healthy, tall and bulky, really big muscle mass, and still be in a extremely obese category. And I'll show you exactly what that looks like here shortly. With that being said, I want to give us some application around what I'm getting to today as far as body composition. So, in today's title, what I named it was body composition over BMI number on scale. I couldn't find an emoji, and I don't know if the carrots work for the title on YouTube. So, if they do, my bad. I'll adjust it in the future. But long story short, I want to get a quick drink there. Long story short, there's a reason why I have created this original artwork here. I spent time to draw this for you guys because I want to really, really drill down on, toss this, get rid of it, shred it up. If I had another copy, I'd rip this up right now because it is a waste of your time. Don't let your doctor bog you down with BMI. Ask the doctor what's my composition and what is the recommended composition, and see what your doctor says. Make them earn their paycheck. Make them tell you what really counts, not the number on the scale, not the BMI. Ask them composition, ask them blood markers, ask them finer details. I had a client tell me today that my client, when he talked to a particular physician, this physician told him that he had low back problems because he was overweight. And he's like, please, it wasn't because I was overweight. The issue was that he had done a lot of squats, focusing primarily on his quads and partially on his glutes, not very much on his hamstrings. Uh, I don't think he did very many deadlifts either, so there's some imbalances. But long story short, he had some serious strains and pains in his back due to all of his exercise, and then because of that, gained weight because he kept eating the same without the same activity, and the doctor told him it was due to weight. So make sure your doctor knows what they're talking about in this context. Unfortunately, even general physicians, for whatever reason, skip this chapter in the book. I don't know what, don't get into the finer details, where me, not a physician, is getting into the finer details of how the body works in this case. So just make sure that they're giving you the finer details. It's always fine to get a second opinion. I don't know why I went on with that, but I've had physician issues too. I had a physician tell me that I had a fatty liver syndrome or something, a rare fatty liver disease or something, and I should start taking certain prescriptions. And it's like, hey, did you bother to ask me that I have been working out extremely hard lately, been eating very well, making sure I'm monitoring my fats. And the reason why my fat count is high right now is because I'm losing a lot of fat. I'm eating a lot of fat, dietary fat that's good for replenishing my energy stores, taking care of recovery and all that stuff. And then also, my body is burning fat. Did you ever think about that? No, I'm just going to get diagnosed with the fatty liver, whatever it was. And I don't even think I responded to the guy. But again, I want you guys to make the decisions for yourself. Let's get into the finer details. I'll jump off my soapbox. So you can find this particular tool anywhere. This is your TDEE, and I know exactly what you're going to say in the comments. But Ryan, it says BMI right there. Promise you, I never pay attention to it, and I'll show you why here in a second. So, as far as composition goes, I think I used 5'6" yesterday for the analogy. Let's just say middle age, 35, and 160 pounds. We'll go male first. Typical person probably gets 1 to 2 days of exercise. We can throw in the body fat another time. This gentleman really has put in a lot of work, so if you use this, please let him know that you appreciate it. It's utilizing some old calculations. So here's the actual individuals who did the science. So you can see over the years the numbers have changed because we've learned more about the body, especially recently. There's some other cool stuff in here about maximum muscular potential. So I highly recommend this, and I use this often just to do quick calculations for my clients. That being said, again, screw the BMI score. Like, this isn't something that really is necessary, but we'll just go ahead and do this anyway. It says your BMI is 25.8, which means you are classified as overweight, 25 to 29. Now, if I put in 12% body fat, which would be phenomenal, well, it wouldn't be phenomenal, but it's a good spot for a man. It's a recommended top end for gents. It still says you're overweight, even at 12% body fat. What the heck? Now, 160, 12%, that's 16 plus, another 2, 3 pounds roughly. So you're about 145-ish in lean mass. Pretty decent. Not a lot of body fat on the body. Definitely less than 30 pounds of fat on the body, which is where you're going to start to see some muscle, some core shape. The fact that it's calling this person overweight and their 12% body fat is incorrect. Well, it's not that it isn't that it is incorrect. It's just it doesn't match. It doesn't work. Like if we saw this 35-year-old at 165'6", 12% body fat, the BMI is again based on, if you guys remember that calculation, the weight in kilograms divided by your height in meters squared. So if you put that in on an index, a bell curve, right? There's a median more or less, and you've probably seen those BMI charts, right? As the age and the I forget what is it, age and height change. That's where you fall on the chart. Or sorry, not age and height, height and weight, obviously. Change. That's where you're going to see yourself land on the on the scale. And of course, it's a little bit different for the ladies and the gents. Here's where you start to have the breakdown. Now you're also seeing some recommended calorie ranges based on your activity level. You can see macronutrient breakdowns, maximum muscular potential, et cetera, et cetera. We don't need to talk about that today, but it's all here as a great tool for you. Again, I use it on a regular basis. So I've broken this down. Even if this person is at 10%, meaning they have an excellent amount of body fat percentage, even 8%. So now we're getting into typically what NBA players operate at. 8% body fat, 5'6", 35, 160. This doesn't change. Okay, body fat percentage is going to be what it's going to be, but this person is still considered overweight. Toss it out. Goodbye, BMI. Also, the number on the scale. Goodbye. 160 has not changed. And what the heck? Why is it still telling me that I'm overweight? Why is it still telling me that I am having a problem here? If we went simply based on BMI. All right, let's look at it for the female side. Same numbers. 8% would be too low for a lady, even though there are ladies that get that low. So a good number would be 15%. We'll go ahead and recalculate. And it puts the ladies in the same category. Wow, that's crazy. Is that right? Did I do that right? Or is BMI calculated the same for females and males? Double check here. I believe so. I don't think there's any discrepancies between male and female. So if you're carrying more fat, but you're the same height and same weight as a guy, does that make sense? I'm just going to pose that question for you to think about that for a second. All right. So with that being said, we're going to put a little bit more application to this, and we're going to use, let's use me really quick. So this is me back in May. I wanted to shave up the work that I had done at the end of the year prior before sheltered in place and get things going. So I started at 232.2. So we'll plug that into the calculator. You guys get to see all my stats real quick. That's cool. So I was at 232, 6'4". Is that right? I was doing about moderate and estimated, I think 13%. Okay, so just looking at this, it puts me at overweight. That's ridiculous. Well, I busted my buns and I worked hard, got stronger buns, stronger core, stronger build out. If you take a look at the before and after, is the before and after in here? Well, there's the before. Okay, that's the original photo from the beginning. Here's the after. So this is how my body was afterwards. Started to see some shreds and cuts, which is always nice. Leaned out pretty well. I'm not there now. I'm on a different road. So anyway, I estimated about maybe 10 and a half, 11% at the end, 209. So we'll just say a nice round 210. So if I go ahead and change only 210, my body fat percentage will not matter in this case because it doesn't calculate for that. Did you notice that I only dropped zero point 0.2 and that it's still, after 22 pounds, still considers me overweight? I just shredded out. Like everyone saw that, right? I shredded out. I've got fairly nice physique. I think my lower abs, I could still shave it up, chest, still some potential fat loss to be made there. Maybe another, let's see, what's my numbers? um 210, and I can use this. So my maximum muscular potential is at 205 at 5%. So if I lost another 4 pounds, I'd be at maximum muscular potential. If I plug those numbers in, 205, and I put 5%, check this out. At 5% body fat, I would still be, oh, hey, imagine that. I just barely squeak in to the normal weight where I'm at 5% body fat. So for me to be normal, I have to be 5% body fat. Isn't that messed up? All right, check this out. Last example to the reason why you need to drop BMI, the number on the scale. Everybody probably knows this gentleman in one way, shape, or form or another, whether it's Ballers or all the movies that he's done, or his Terramana Tequila, or his Instagram, or whatever it may be. There's a lot, okay, that you can find this guy. So he's 6'5". He and I are actually within 8 days of each other as far as our birthday. And he is from the city that I first moved to here in the Bay Area. He's from Hayward, which is really cool. I really like The Rock. I think he's a cool guy. And I'm modeling a little bit as far as his structure with his body. There's the debate out there whether he uses steroids or not. At this point in time, I'm not going there. All right, 6'5", 260, and I think I've seen recently that he's even been as high as 280. So The Rock is 48. Okay, so he's getting close to 50. He's at 260. He's 6'5", so just an inch taller than myself. Is that right? 6'5". Yep. 260. I know he's an athlete when it comes to it. I would guess he's probably about 8% body fat based on his photos. Check that out. He is at 30.8 for a BMI. So The Rock, according to a BMI, is obese. Now, I just have a question for you guys. Let's see if we can find a photo here. There we go. Does that look obese to you? Can I rest my case? Does that look obese? So let's say if it's 260. I'm pretty sure I saw something that said he was 280. So that takes it to 33.2. And typically anything over 30% BMI, or 30, excuse me, BMI, even upwards of 40, that mid 30 to 40 range is bad news bears. So that's the case. If he's shuddering, he's like right in between these two. He's between obese and extremely obese. That's not good according to this index. But does that look obese to you? I don't think so. I mean, you could see pretty much the majority of the six pack. His body structure doesn't have 8 or 10 or 12 like some guys out there. That might be steroids. I actually have to look into that, see if the receptors in those muscles are bond well with steroids to pop out those muscles in the lower abdomen, because usually it's more of a flat shape than popping out like the top 6 that we usually see, if someone takes their shirt off. So there's a good example of why BMI, again, that is overweight according to the BMI, and this is obese, almost extremely obese according to the BMI. That's why that is not a great number to use, and especially in the context of weight. If The Rock continues to put on more muscle mass, which is possible, I don't know what his capacity is. Let's see what I'll just look at this number really quick. His muscular capacity at 5% is 211, which seems extremely low. Yeah, that number seems pretty low because he's at 280. Oh, muscular potential is 211. at 5%. So that would be his actual muscle mass, meaning he's got about 69 pounds at 280, where it's everything else other than his muscle. So he's weighing in at 200 plus solid and muscle mass, which is a lot of muscle mass. I mean, I'm probably about one. If I had to guess, I'm probably about 170 ish, maybe 180. I don't know, somewhere in there. I know my lean mass has been 200, but not all of that is muscle. At least 10 pounds of it is bone, from what my scale tells me. But long story short, guys, that gives you an idea of why the number on the scale and why BMI are not great indicators. Now, they will tell you certain things, X number of pounds over what your ideal body weight might be, ideal body composition, where you'll start to see issues getting into that 30 to 40 number as far as BMI. If you're not exercising, if you don't have a lot of muscle mass, you clearly do have a lot of fat mass, then yes, that might be or maybe or definitely is an issue, a situation, a problem. But I just want to give you guys some clear application to why it is most important not to rely on the number on the scale or the BMI. It is a waste if you're going to only do that. I want you to expand your mind, get educated, utilize resources that are available to you, and with that, have some more success. So that was my goal today. I hope it helped you guys. I hope this video gave you some good context so you have a better understanding of the composition of the body. And with that, move forward, allowing yourself to let some of that stress and anxiety and everything just melt off the body, and be in a space and place where you can be informed, you can be at peace, and you can start getting results. And we're here for you here at Project Fresh. If I didn't say it, my name is Ryan Sanders. I don't think I did at the beginning. So this is the first time you're seeing me, interacting with me. I do this on a regular basis. I cover all areas in lifestyle, fitness, finances, recreation, relationships, education, and all these areas like today. This is kind of more of an educational piece. S is the sanctity, the soul and spiritual health. And then H is what I like to call a filler, a overflow, if you will, the overall health that we focus on in lifestyle. So that was it for this week. We'll have a full week next week, and then we'll do Monday through Wednesday, Christmas week, and that will be it for 2020. So make sure you join us. Please like if you got something from this that was valuable. Please subscribe. We're working towards 100 right now, just so we can change our address for our YouTube page so that it matches up with everything else on our social media. We're working hard to make sure it's all uniform for all of our clients and those who are catching up with us. And stay tuned also, if you're subscribed, you'll be getting some new content I hope to have by the end of next week. I definitely will have it available before 2021 hits, where it's 5 steps or kind of a how-to video, if you will. It is a how-to video, how to build or expand or develop or something along the lines of your lifestyle, 5 steps for 2021. So we'll see that content, and I hope that it will bless you guys. In the meantime, have an excellent weekend. We'll see you soon. Take care.